Hi everyone, this is Koinzell here. So this time around we are doing a Barbara Hangout Event guide. There's 5 Hangout memories to be obtained, plus 5 rewards as well. So for Barbara, her branch is really quite convoluted. As you can see here, you'll see that there are options. There's one that ends really fast, but you'll see that they are converging of the branches as well. Once you do certain actions, it will actually convert to one single branch, and that again splits into 3 main branches. But between the two of the main branches, they actually merge back in to one final result as well. This is the part I'm talking about. Yeah. So this is the part I'm talking about, where it merges back. You need to do a very important options here, so as to achieve this ending instead of going back to the same ending. I'll touch on that later as well. So while I run through the actual dialog options, I'll always switch back to this branch view so that you guys have a better view on how the dialog options eventually lead to the different endings. Yeah. Alright, so now let's go ahead and talk about the very first one. So the very first one here is when there are 2 different options, which will branch to this, and this. So let's see in game. Okay, so this is basically the very first branch that you will encounter, which is what I just showed. If you select this, you will split into the first 2 options. If you select this option, you will go with the very last option. Okay. Do bear in mind that the third and second branch from this particular point will eventually merge. There's only one special ending, which is when you choose this and you perform a certain action, which is to fail to convince Albert to leave. Okay, I'll jump straight ahead to the conversation for Albert. I'll show the correct steps to get him to leave, and when you want to do the ending, just select any of the other options, and it's much easier for me to show you guys the correct options, because there are 3 options that you need to get right in a row in order to convince him to leave. Alright? Okay, so this is the very first question. I'll show you guys. Basically, you need to tell him to search, convince other people to go and search. Next, the correct option is to select this. As long as you see him agreeing with you, you're on the right track. And next option is to select this. So to recap, right, in order to convince him to leave, you need to go left, bottom right, and left in terms of the dialog options. That will convince him to leave, and that will be your second route, which is this particular route here. So that if you convince him to leave, this is what you'll see here, right? Albert is amenable to reason, and you will trigger and merge down to the quest at the bottom. Okay. As long as you choose any of the other options, Albert, you won't be able to convince Albert to leave. So that's why it says Albert never gives up. And you just need to follow the quest along, and you'll be able to get this ending. But obviously it's not a good ending, right? Because you don't even get to interact with Barbara much. Now for these 2 options, it's really up to you which you prefer. But bear in mind that for this, it's just a matter of getting the correct dialog options to convince Albert to leave, and you'll be able to move on to the next main branch. While for this particular one, this is the one where you chose to go deeper into the forest with Barbara, and there's a bit more effort involved here, where you have to look manually for the red wolf hoods. But that's fine actually, because it's really fast. Word of advice, the red wolf hoods are always in the tree trunks. You know what, let me just jump straight to that searching of the red wolf hoods so that you guys can appreciate. But before that, let me just show the ending for Albert Never Gives Up. So I show you guys. So this is what happens when you fail to convince him. He's going to end up go further in. So you gotta follow him, and Paimon will help you shout. Okay. I kind of feel like I shouldn't spoil too much. Okay, so I was saying I don't want to spoil it too much, so I probably don't show the full ending, but it just let you guys know that as long as you fail to convince Albert to leave, you will trigger the ending, the first ending. Okay, now if you convince Albert to leave, he will give you the red wolf hoods that he picked. And with that, you wouldn't need to manually search for red wolf hoods. Okay, but let's say if you do need to search for red wolf hoods, this is what will happen. Okay, so you'll be asked to look for red wolf hoods, and these are the locations for the red wolf hoods. This is my first try searching, so that's why it took a bit of time as well. But essentially, there's one here, hidden in the bushes. There's going to be two more in the tree branch. Let me just jump straight to that. Okay, see here, it's actually in the tree rod. It's very, very straightforward. And there's actually a tree trunk that you can find one as well. Here. Okay, but that's still not enough, right? There will be another two that is hidden in a open log, which I'll skip ahead to. Okay, so it's actually right behind Barbara. There's another tree log or trunk, and then you can get the last two. Okay, so with this, what happens is that you basically will converge back to the main the main branch after the first bad ending. But before that, right, I just want to talk about one specific dialogue option that will straight away fill your hangout event. So let me touch on that. So if you see here at this point in time, temporary relief from the fanfare, this is the point where you select to go deeper into the forest instead of you volunteering to find whoever was shouting. At this point in time, there's actually an option to talk to Barbara. So just bear in mind not to choose the option of saying like it's a special place for the two of you, because after all, you're just starting. You should not be saying something like this to scare a person away. And that's exactly what will happen if you say that. You will fail the quest. Okay? You should just ask about like Baba's family or even the other option. Yeah? Alright. So with that, right, these two are covered, and eventually, once you give Barbara the red wolf hoods, you will go on to the church affairs quest here. And basically, although it's a straight line here, there is a difference where one of it you will need to help to do cleaning. It depends on how you select the option to talk to Barbara, and I'll cover that as well right now. Okay, so before that, right, let me just show what happens when you tell her it's a perfect place for two people to spend some time together. Yeah, I will be choosing this. So this is the reaction. You hear the sound effect? The event has failed without getting any memories. So that's what happened when you select the option. So don't choose the option, yeah? Alright, now let's move on to the next part. Okay, so once you have done the cleanliness quest before, you have unlocked this. So when you are moving backwards to redo the quest, you can simply just select this and skip the cleaning. That was how I skipped the cleaning the second time around. Okay, but that was more of me exploring the options. For you guys, if you did it correctly the first time, you wouldn't have to go backwards. If you do this first ending and then go straight to here, the rest of the branches is really from this particular one, for this particular point, you will split to 3 different options. Okay, let me show you guys the completed look. Okay, so these are the 3 options that I was talking about. This is it says Barbara's homemade child brew, chili brew, sorry. This is the second chili brew ingredient, and this is the cattail's specialty. So at this point in time, there is a dialog option that will trigger this, and I'll show you guys it right now. Essentially, there's only two options, where it then further splits into two, as well as the one option here. I'll show you guys these all three, and then we'll talk about the rest here. Okay.
なんだって。とっても美味しくてすごく人気みたい。だからもし並ぶのが嫌なら私がスパイシードリンクを作ってあげる。どっちにする？
Okay, so this is the selection point. Basically, if you choose this option, it means that you'll go to the third ending, the one that I showed just now, the cattail specialty, and it will link down to the quest itself. If you choose the chili brew, there are two further options to go, and let's see what are the other two options.
わかった。でもあの飲み物普通の味じゃないけど大丈夫かな。よかった。そうだ、飲み物を作るには絶雲のと必要な量は多くないけど、新鮮な絶雲の唐辛子が取れるところは知ってるけど、よし、二手に分かれて探そう。
Okay, so this is the point where you split further into the next two endings, whether or not you split up or you go together with her. My recommendation is to go with the splitting up first, because that splitting up route actually allows you to go for two different endings at the end, whereas if you chose to stick together, it only has one ending, which that same particular ending could have been achieved using this as well. So best to select this first, just in case at the last moment you screw up and you didn't choose the right one. At least you know the option is there. Alright, so I'll show you guys the rest of it. First, we'll start with the simple one, which is the cat's tail specialty. So you see that there's a whole bunch of people here when you select the cat's tail option, because that's how popular she is. Now I'm going to jump ahead to talk about the options to select when it comes to talking to this fans here. Okay, I'm going to just skip ahead. Alright, as you talk to these people, there will be two dialect options, or maybe even three sometimes. But for me personally, I find that you should not use this option because it's kind of rude. So it's better to convince them in this other method. So simply put, don't choose this option, choose whatever else option that is available in terms of talking to the three fans. And you'll be able to clear the Cat's Tail very smoothly. Okay, so Cat's Tail is a very straightforward option. I want to talk on more about the two routes that will eventually converge. Okay, for that I'll need to go back to looking at the event plan or the branching itself. Okay, so this is the part I was talking about, where if you choose to split up, you will go this option here. If you chose to go together, when you select to drink a home brew, a homemade chili brew, there will be two other options here. So alright, I misspoke slightly just now. When you select the second option to split up, sorry, the second option to go together, there is a additional ending, but it's a bad ending. That's why I didn't really remember it. But essentially, you will have to go back and do this, this, and this, right? So that's three routes, three endings from these two options. One of them being shared. So if you do the first one first, the splitting up, essentially at this point in time, there will be a dialog option that will be split further into this or this, and I'll show that right now, because I don't want to show all the stuff in between, because I thought it would be good to leave it to you guys to explore the story. Just give the important pointers on how to get the endings. Yeah. Okay, one small little tip: if you want to know where to find the first ingredient when you split up, the first ingredient is at a cliff, it's a corner near the cliff. Okay, that's the small little tip that I can give. Now let's jump straight to the dialog point here. So I'll talk about which are the two options to get. Cat Stew, like I said, is covered here. Alright, okay. Okay, so this is the point that I was talking about where you can choose what to go for. If you choose this option, you will end up with the Converge branch. If you choose this option, you will get the very first ending, the Spicy Brew ending. So this is the one that is a unique ending to this route. This is the one that is shared with the second route where you choose to go together with Barbara to look for the ingredients for the chili brew. Okay, so if you're doing this route, remember to choose this option so that you get the unique ending for this route. I did not try this, but my guess is if you select this, maybe the quest will fail. So yeah, because there's no other third branch option, right? Maybe you get the Mora, but the quest will fail. No, I don't think you will even get the Mora. Otherwise, people can just abuse this, right? Because the hangout event can be repeated. Or maybe the Mora amount is so small that they are not worried that people will repeat it. Yeah, maybe. Alright, so then now let's move on to the central branch where you choose to go together with Barbara to look for ingredients. I'll talk about how to get that bad ending. Okay. Okay, so there are a few events that lead all the way up to this dialogue option, but this isn't the one that actually does the branching. I just want to share with you guys that there's actually no difference between these two options. It will still lead to the same ending, or not ending, sorry. It will still lead to the same next point, where she will say the exact same thing. Basically, she will heal you, and after healing you, we have the next guy that appears.
よかった。僕は必死に逃げてきたんです。
Okay, again, these four options actually don't make much of a difference. I mean, the dialogue that this guy says may be different, but it will still end with the final option where you suggest to bring him to Springville.
お願いします。治療してください。
None of these four options really don't matter.
イノシシです。ここでイノシシを飼ってるんですよ。
Although he will say something different, but yeah.
この体の
It all
傷
ends with you selecting this one option. That's why I say it doesn't make a difference.
こんなきまあ牧師さん。
わかりまし
Okay, so this is where the ending difference will happen. If you select this, you will get the bad ending here, where it's the ending unique to this particular route, which is the option to go look for ingredients together with Barbara. If you select this, you will reach a ending unique to this. If you select this and you play along, you will go back to the ending that is shared between the option to go together with Barbara on the ingredients or to split up. Alright, so basically that's the gist of it for this Barbara guide. It's longer than I wanted the video to be because it's quite convoluted, her paths. But let's just quickly talk about the hangout memories. So to quickly recap, right? If you select the Li Yue Brew, you will get this ending. If you select the Sweet Flower on the first route, you'll get this ending. If you chose to help the Suspicious Guy, you'll get this ending. If you choose to bring him to the Knights of Favonius, you'll get this ending. And Castile is right below. Alright, so this is the end of the guide here. I hope the guide has been helpful to you guys. If you like the content, remember to like the video and click subscribe for more, yeah? Thanks everyone for watching. Bye!